will start now. I will start by picking F-Ciel, since this stream is gonna teach you a bit about F-Ciel, who is my main. Okay, so F-Ciel. What kind of character she is? What does she do? She is a pretty well-rounded character, but compared to the other moons of Ciel, she's more rushdown oriented, because she's very good at rushdown, but she still has some other options. She has options for about everything from neutral to defense to offense, but some of them are very specific, so you need to know when to use them. Let's start with the basics. The move that, in my opinion, really defines F-Ciel is 236B. This move. This move is like the reason you should play her. It's what makes her special, and it's what her game plan revolves around. So this move is good in neutral, it's good in pressure, it's very good for her combos. So let's start with the basics though. So first, neutral. Since, as I said in my previous stream, neutral is very air-based in Melty Blood. You want to be a lot in the air. For neutral, it's very important to have good air normals, and I think F-Ciel are okay. You have JA, which is it's okay. I mean, it's a GA, it's fast, so you can use it to interrupt the opponent's slower moves. You have JB, which I personally like to use this defensively, because you can see the hitbox now, but this move has it's not like amazing, but it's an okay hitbox that extends out of the hurt box, and you can use this defensively. For example, if the opponent is rushing you down, tries to air dash at you, you can try to like jump back and JB, and if you basically make them run into the JB, and that's pretty good, because if you get a counter hit, you can combo out of that. And finally, you have JC, which is good at controlling space, since again, if the opponent is trying to come at you, you just stick this out, and it's like a barrier that they risk running into, so it makes them not want to just mindlessly rush at you. Other neutral moves are okay. These ones a bit tricky. She can throw her knives like this. It's 214B, and she can cancel it into 214C. So you can do this. So this covers a lot of space, because it has both an upward angle and a downward angle, but it's not as good as you may think if you are not familiar with the game and the move, because after you do this, you can, it has a lot of recovery if you don't do anything. Like whoops, I'm holding up after I do it. See, you have to wait a lot to recover, and the only thing you can cancel it into is 214C. So you are always stuck doing something. The easiest way for the opponent to deal with this is to jump very high, and then when they see you do this, they can just super jump, and it goes above this, and basically you're stuck doing this, and you can the only thing you can do to kind of try to save yourself is let me change the settings, is you can cancel this, you can cancel into a special, so you can try to DP, but this is like super risky, so you don't want to do that too much. So basically you don't want to spam this too much. A bit, it's okay, but don't use it too much. I say this, but I think I'm guilty of using this too much. So don't fall for this trap. What's another very good move for air neutral is, as I said before, 236B. This move is super good in general. This move is good because it's air unblockable. So all of these, you see how far it hits. It's air unblockable. So if the opponent is just kind of jumping around, you can block this if he's falling on that. So that's pretty good, and it's also completely EX cancelable, even on whiff. Even on whiff you can cancel it, and even in recovery frames. So see, I can do it super late. I can do it whenever I want. So you can stick this out and still be able to cancel into EX moves. And it has a very good reach. It hits people who are airborne, which is most people most of the time in Melty Blood. And so it's very good in general. And it's good if they are on the ground also, because this is also a combo starter, especially if they're on the ground. If they're jumping, it's a bit more tricky, but if they're on the ground, you can do you can jump cancel it, okay? You can jump cancel it, and then you can instant air dash, like this. Jump cancel, instant air dash, and then oops, and then you can do JC, okay? You land and do an air combo. So this is very tricky at the start. It took me a lot of time to learn this, but maybe if you have very good execution, this will not be a problem for you. Yeah, if they're on the ground, you get okay, I messed up, but you get the idea. You get, see, a combo, and it's decent damage. So for neutral, the last thing Okay, there's still two things for neutral. Uh, uh, it's 2B. 2B is a very good move. This hits low and it has a decent reach, and most of all you can cancel it into both 236B and 236A. 236A is similar to 236B, but it hits low, and the reason you generally want to use 236B is that, as I said, it's era unblockable and it has a better reach, but 236A hits low, so this can be good too. And you can confirm your 2B from just about any range if you go on 2B, 236B into your combo, or you can use 236A, and then you can OTG. You can OTG with 236B. So not 236B, sorry, it's 623B. Okay, the DP motion. It does this move, and it hits OTG, and it launches the opponent. So it should look like this. Okay, I missed it. Okay, so you can confirm into a combo. Anytime you hit this, you can do this. I messed up, but you can do that. So when you OTG your air combo, you want to do JAC, JBC. So if the reason is that JA hits better than JB. So when you do this, you want to do with JA, JC. Usually you want to do JBJC because it does more damage, but in this case it's a bit awkward, so it's better to do JC for the air combo. Finally, the last neutral thing I want to talk about is 214A, and it's this move. It throws this horizontal dagger, and the bad thing about this move is that it does not hit people who are in the air. So even if it goes through them and they're very close to the ground, if they're in the air, it does not hit them. Okay, he just landed there, but it does not work if they are in the air, even if it looks like it would hit. So this is like not amazing, but depending on the situation, it can work, and you can confirm it from full screen, almost full screen, with 623C, DP motion and C. This move you can do like that. Okay, I messed up. I messed up again. Okay, I messed up, but you get the same combo as you do from the OTG. You go JAJC and then JBC, and you do your normal air combo. So that's about it for neutral. So now I'm gonna talk about pressure. So for pressure, let's put the dummy block or guard. So let's go to the right side because I prefer the right side. So for pressure, what you your basic things work, like I talked about this already in the last video, but maybe some people didn't see it. So if you do 5A, 5A and do like this, the opponent can press buttons. So this is not very useful, aside from if you really want to do a through block string. But this does not open the opponent. What you can do is delay your cancels, so you leave small holes for the opponent to press buttons, so he gets counter hit. You can set the opponent to do recover A, which means he will press 5A when he recovers from block. And you see, if I do this, you can't do anything. But if I delay a bit, okay, I get a counter hit. Okay, counter. So you want to put some small delays. They should not be big enough for the opponent to actually hit you like this. This should not happen, but you want this to happen. So if it tries to mesh, you basically, it's basically a feint trap. You hit him, and this is like the most basic thing to do in pressure. So when the opponent is scared, he does not want to press buttons because he knows he's gonna get counter hit. You can like dash back in and start again and do stuff like that. Like, this is super basic, but just to give you an idea, you can do stuff like this. So this is for the A buttons. Obviously 2A hits low, but F-Ciel's 2A is pretty crappy because it's very low range. You can see the difference. It's like super low range, it doesn't reach anywhere. So if you can get a few 2A, it's good, but 5A has more range. So this is like the basic. Other than that, you can do 5B. 5B is hits low. You see she crouches to block, and it's plus on block. And other than this, so if you do 5B, the opponent will be scared to press buttons, both because it's plus and because you can frame trap him more. You can do like let's put there to recover 5A. You can do like 5B, delay 2B, right? So this is putting together both frame advantage and staggers. Like delaying your hits is called a stagger, and usually if you are plus, it's already good, but you can be plus and you can use that in conjunction with staggers. So the opponent really does not want to press buttons because you are in a very advantageous position when you are pressuring. So your options from this, you can go to B, you can go stagger to B, and this can be confirmed into a combo. On counter hit, it combos into charge 5C, so you can be like and do like this, because you have 5C, but normally it's a pretty shitty move. If you charge it, again, it has more range and it's plus on block too. It's like +1. I don't know the exact advantage, but oh, okay, no. But it should be like +1. So even if they block it, you are still plus, and you can still cancel it into stuff. You can cancel it into the more you cancel, okay, I started with the A buttons, then you can go to 5B, right? Then you can go to 2B, okay? So then you have to go to the C buttons, right? If the opponent does not get opened up until then, you have to go to your C buttons, and so you always get less options the more you go on in your string, because you always get more limited. Because when I am doing A's, I can cancel into anything, but if I go for 5B, then I can only cancel into 2B or C moves, and then if I cancel into a C move, then I can pretty much only cancel into a special, or maybe for C, but it's not really or 3C. So you always get less options the more you go on, but the opponent does not want to mesh. So when you teach the opponent not to mesh with your plus on block stuff, or with staggers, and the opponent does not want to mesh, that's when you can go in. So you can go in and you can start again, alright? So the opponent can block, he can keep blocking if he's patient, okay? He's patient, he keeps blocking, and then I get to just go back in again, maybe mix in a throw. As you can see, throws don't do nearly as much damage as combos, but you know, if the opponent is scared and does not break them, you just pile up damage for almost for free, almost, because we can beat you. Or you can just go in and do like delayed 2A, so you catch him maybe if he tries to attack, or you can instant air dash, so he has to look out for the overhead, since it's a jumping attack. Or you can be crazy and dash in and do an overhead. So the opponent has to really, the more scared he gets, the more opportunities he gives you to go back in and basically mix him up and open him up. Another thing you can do is if the opponent maybe does delayed normal, so he knows you can do this, and then you go in and you start again. Maybe he tries to delay his defense. You can with F-Ciel you have 2B, which is very good, as I said. I didn't say it, but this move has red forward as red before the green, so there's red outside the green, okay? So it's good as a counter poke too. So if you are pressuring the opponent and you know he's gonna try to press something, you are at this range, maybe you can just walk it back and do 2B, okay? So the opponent is maybe he bets that you are gonna reset, you're gonna dash in and pressure him, so he waits a little bit and then starts mashing his move. So instead, when you're here, you just walk back a little and do maybe 2B to 3-6B and confirm into a combo, or 2B to 3-6A, or something like that, and you can confirm into a combo. So basically, this also baits, for example, if the opponent tries to DP, you bait the DP. So it's very good because the opponent, when he's in the corner, is in this situation. Basically, the opponent is scared because he's in the corner, so he wants to get out. And if you are putting some relentless pressure, he will try something to get out. So when he sees that you are not attacking him, maybe he tries to jump, maybe he expects the dash and start pressing his button. So this workback can be used both to delay, to make the opponent feel like, okay, this is my time to try to stick out a button, to do a reversal, something, and you walk back and pop, and you punish him. This is another thing you can do when maybe he expects you to always dash back in, or instant air dash, stuff like that. Other than this, okay, now maybe I can talk about her mix-ups. So I was talking about 5B, 2B, 5C. These generally are the basic pressure moves, but you have, for mix-ups, you have two overheads. Yes, two overheads. You have 4B. You can charge it to become an overhead. So now he's blocking low. If you do not charge it, it's not an overhead. But if you charge it, it becomes an overhead. The problem with this move is that it's pretty slow. If the opponent is good, he will block it. But anyway, let's talk first if he does not block it. So if he does not block it and you hit, what can you do? The biggest damage you can get is when you cancel it into 214A. So you get like this, okay? This launches, and you can do your combo. Okay, so it's pretty good damage. But the problem with this is that it's unsafe on block. So oops, wrong move. So I don't know if okay, I'm messing up. Okay, she can't reach with that move. But I tell you that this is 214A is not safe on block from this distance. Okay, I don't know why I keep messing that up, but so if the opponent, depending on his character, the spacing, he may be able to punish you. What's the safest bet is cancelling into our friend 236B, but the problem, which is not such a big problem, I mean, it would be better if it was not like this, but it's not too bad, is that if you hit the opponent, only in the case of 4B, 4B to 36B is kind of like a target combo and does a different move. You do not get this move if you hit. If you do 4B to 36B, you get this move, which throws them away. So you can't get a combo, but you get, if you are in the corner, you get a setup, because you can get is you can get super jump, and it can be a safe jump. And on some characters, speaking about mix-ups, this allows you to do. It does not work on her. So this is a bit advanced, so I will talk about this later if there's time. But you can do her fuzzy guard from this on some characters. So for now, let's not talk about that. Let's just say you get your safe jump on hit. So it's safer, but it's a bit worse maybe on hit. And finally, the last option on block is okay. See, since before I said that this move is low, so it's easy to block, right? Well, you can cancel it into this move, right? 236 A, which, as I said, is a low. So this move becomes an overhead when you fully charge it, and this move is a low. So you can do like this, right? So if the opponent has good reactions and he reacts to you doing this move, then he may get hit by this, which is a low. So that's kind of a mix-up. But I think if you are good, you can kinda react to that, but you can like see that I did not charge completely and basically block correctly, but it's a lot harder, and especially if you are under pressure, right? If you are under pressure and I do something like this, and this is an overhead, or I do something like this, and this is a low, and if you are under pressure, it's a lot harder to be able to see when it's an overhead, when it's a low. So that's a pretty decent mix-up. And if the opponent gets it, he gets it by 236B. So you can just do your OTG into combo, and if he gets hit by the over, I keep messing that up, I don't know why. If he gets hit by the overhead, then it's even better for you because you do even more damage. So that's one mix-up you can do. As I said, she has two overheads, and the other overheads is okay. This is 3C, right? She jumps in the air like this, and you can charge it. And if you charge it, it becomes an overhead. So if I put the opponent crouch, if I do this, it's an overhead, and you can combo from it. Or why is this move good? It's because it's another overhead. So the opponent can't just watch out for one overhead, but he has to watch out for two different moves that are overheads. So it makes it harder to react. It's harder to react because there's more moves that he has to look out for. And another very good thing about this move is that even on whiff, you can cancel it into stuff. You can do a normal both on block and on hit, right? So you do this, the opponent blocks, but you can still do just about anything, which is very good in conjunction with another very important F-Ciel move, which I haven't talked about yet. I don't know how I didn't yet, but it's this move. So this is an EX move when you are in the air, right? You throw this on the ground, and basically the black wave thing hits low, as you can see. Right, the opponent is set to block high, so he gets hit because when this hits the ground, it hits low. So why is this so good? It's good because on block it's very plus, so it lets you get basically a reset. So you can do stuff like this, like you are pressuring, right? The things I explained before. You do stuff like this, and then you can do, okay, right? So it's a bit tricky, depends on spacing, but that's one thing you can do, or you can just fall down and jump on them. Even if you whiff, it's almost better if you whiff, because if it gets blocked, it's a bit weirder. But anyway, it's very good either way, because you basically you retain all your air options. It's like a move that's jump cancelable on block, which it's not exactly that, but it works similarly. Which for Melty Blood it's super rare. You almost never can jump cancel. There's like 2 normals that you can jump cancel on block in the whole game, because you already have very good grounded pressure. So, and this works on whiff too. So even if you are a bit distant, it's almost better, because the opponent can't really shield you. The opponent may have a lead and try to shield you, but if you are like this, he just whiffs his shield, and you fall down on him and punish him. So it's very good, but you also leave a gap, which can be good if the opponent tries to do something, but it may also be bad because it opens you up. So if you do not want to leave a gap, you can use 2-2A. Okay, this move. This is another move. F-Ciel has 2-2 moves. 2-2A is like this. It has no invincibility, but it's EX cancelable, so you can do stuff like this. And it's basically a reset, because you get to dash back in and maybe go for an overhead, right? So you are pressuring and you do like this, alright? Like you do your classic pressure. And this works on whiff too, but the opponent can kind of react to that. So you generally with this want to make them block, and then do this move. So you reset your pressure and get back in, and you can do like staggers and stuff. You start your stuff. So I talked about 2-2A. She also has 2-2B. This move is also completely air unblockable, but so it looks very good, and it can be good, but keep in mind that the opponent can just bait you with air dashes and stuff like that, and if you whiff this, it's super bad. So don't try to be like Guile and just flash kick every time. If the opponent is predictable, if you know he has finished his air options and stuff like that, and it's a great anti-air, but don't just try to throw it around in neutral all the time. So anyway, I was still talking about pressure, so let's end the pressure thing. So finally, to finish the pressure part, okay, as I said, this move, if you charge it, 5C is plus unblock, right? But it's also very predictable. Like if you are like this and do 5C, it's relatively easy for the opponent to shield it. Remember, the opponent can just shield it and punish you. So what do you do when the opponent starts shielding your 5C? It depends. You can, like, usually he will try to shield it when you do 2B, because usually your best move from 2B 2B is not plus on block, so you may want to do this a lot. But if you are predictable, the opponent can just shield in the gap between 2B and charge 5C. So basically, what you can do is you can do 2B and then 3B. 3B has to be shielded low. And second. Okay, you see she goes crouching because she has to shield this low. If she tries to do that standing, she gets counter hit, which combos into this. So you, instead of going for 5C, for charge 5C, you can go 3B, or you can just not cancel into anything. And even if this is not plus, it's the power of staggers and frame traps. This is not plus, but the opponent maybe respects you, so maybe you get to dash back in anyway. And yeah, or you can go maybe for 3C, charge 3C, so you can do what I said before, and you can do stuff like this, right? And yeah, so I think that's almost about it for pressure. One last thing, I did not talk about this, but F-Ciel also has a command grab, because 2 overheads were not enough. As I said, she's very rushdown, and her command grab is a bit peculiar. It's this move. Okay, she runs forward and she grabs the opponent, and it's decent. You can cancel into it, but it's reactable, so you don't want to throw this out too predictably. It's reactable, but it has armor, so recover. Okay, this. Okay, let's try with another move. So it's a bit hard for me now because I can program the dummy to act like a normal character, but basically at some point you have armor, you have to believe me, and this works a lot against people. like right before you grab them, you have armor. So if the opponent tries to do, I can't reproduce it against the dummy because it has to be, I can't control the dummy perfectly, but if you do it correctly, just about before you hit them, this move has armor, so you get to even if they try to mash, they get hit. But they can get around this by, for example, by grabbing you. When you are dashing at them, they just grab you, so they can react like that. Or they may jump and try to punish you like that. So in general, you don't want to spam the command grab too much. But for example, it's good because remember when I was talking about 4B, right? It's the overhead. And you can mix it up with the low, so it's an overhead, but it may be a low. Well, you can cancel it into command grab too. So it's maybe an overhead, it's maybe a low, it's maybe a command grab. So the opponent, when you take these moves alone, they are all relatively slow and easy to react to. But when you are like mixing up the opponent, you do like this, you run at them, and then they're just defending. So if you do like this, the opponent may not be super focused on that move because you may just go in and just grab him normally, or just frame trap him, or you may do like anything. So I'd say F-Ciel's mix-up options are not like super strong if you take them one by one, but by having all of them at the same time, you can take the opponent by surprise. You can mix them up and you don't expect that. So that's what makes her mix-up and rushdown good. And you have an EX version of the command throw too, which works basically the same but does more damage. And so okay, there's a bit more stuff, but I feel like this guide is gonna become like super long, so I'm gonna try to cut it short now and talk about the last few things. So finally, for pressure, what's very good is also, as I said, 236B and 236A, because as I said, these moves are like super good always, because this move is slightly plus on block, slightly. At that range, it doesn't make such a big difference, but you know, it's always better to be plus than to be minus. And as I said, it's air unblockable. So what's F-Ciel's big trouble, in my opinion, when pressuring? It's catching people that try to jump. Because if you are like this, so you don't want to always go like use all your options all the time, because then when I do this, I can't do anything else but cancel it into a special. But if I end up at this range and I do not want the opponent to jump, but I basically don't have any move that prevents him to jump except 236B, because it has such a long range, right? And it's air unblockable, so the opponent, and even if he does not jump on counter hit, it's super good. Right? you get to confirm like your max range. You are like this. You can react, dash in, and combo. So it's amazing on counter hit. It's amazing on normal hit because you get. Okay, I'm messing it up. I feel like maybe the stream is having a bit of delay or frame drops. I don't know, but okay, like this. So you can combo on hit, you can combo on counter hit. It's good on block if the opponent is blocking. If they block this, right, and they try to jump, if you do this a second time, you will catch them. The second one will catch them trying to jump. So it's basically all around, it's a super amazing move. And okay, so generally another thing you can do, as I said, the ways you can reset your pressure, you can dash back in, you can instant air dash, or you can do the thing where you just kinda try to out footsie them, right? And they try to stick out a button and you punish them like this. You will punish like this, or like this, or like this, right? Another thing you can do is just use this move. It's always good. And so the opponent is really scared. Even when you are like this, the opponent is still scared to jump or to touch buttons, because you can do this at any time and he gets hit and he gets comboed. So this really makes the opponent respect your corner pressure. So for pressure, that will be it. One last thing, it's after your combo, right? I was showing you the combo all the time, so I always end my combo with jumping 2-2B and then air throw, right? Like this. If you have meter in this situation and you are in the corner, what you want to do is this. You do this move when you are falling down, so the opponent is forced to block, and then you get to go in, and basically you can start your pressure if he blocked. If he got hit, you just do your combo. And if you still have meter, you do it again. And if you still gets hit, you do your combo again. And you do it again. So it's very good. And basically they are forced to respect it unless they have some like very horizontal reversal, maybe. It depends on the character. Some characters can punish you, but generally it's like super good when you are in the corner. And if you do not have meter, right, and okay, you do not have meter, you are in this situation, right, where they get up there and you are here. So what can you do? You can do meaty 2B, and this again, this can go in everything. If they're trying to jump away, maybe, or try to disrespect and press a button, you get this, and you combo, and you go for this again, or you can do, okay. something feels wrong, but you get the idea, right? So when the opponent tries to shield low, because they have to shield this low, you can just go for 236B, or you can just dash in and throw them, or start your pressure, your combo if he respects you. So basically, you have to make him respect you, and when he does not press button, he does not do stuff, you can dash in and start your pressure. You can also dash in 5A, stuff like this. If you do not have a meter or want to keep it. That's about it. Oh, okay, I didn't talk about this move. This move is very good. I mean, it depends. It's a dive kick. You can charge it, and if you charge it, it's special cancelable. So you can cancel it into this move, for example. It's always plus on block. It's plus on block. If you do the normal one, you get a combo on counter hit. You can get a combo on counter hit. So the dive kick is good, and it can help you in neutral when you are like moving around and stuff. But beware of the landing recovery, or it will be punished. So it's good, but don't spam it too much. The input is J2C. And is there something I did not talk about? Let me think. Oh, okay. Defense. F-Ciel has to defend herself. So I talked about applying pressure, but when she wants to defend herself, you have universal stuff like a shield, but this is like universal. She has a reversal. I mean, this move, okay, I talked about this before. It's invincible, but it does not hit crouching opponents. So now she's standing and I can hit her, but if she crouches, then it will not hit her. And it's not a matter of hitbox, it's just flagged to not hit crouching opponents. So if the opponent knocks you down and goes for a meaty 2A or stuff like that, you will just whiff. You can't hit them. So it's very bad as a wake up reversal. But thankfully you have 2-2C, this move. It may not look like much, but it's super good because it's one of the fastest moves in the game. It's like super fast. You cannot safe jump this. If you try your normal safe jumps and I do this, you will get hit. It's too fast. And it's a 2-2 input. So in this game, left-right mix-ups, like people making it tricky to understand when they jump, if they are landing on the left or the right, are very important. But since this move is 2-2, it does not matter where they land, because it will always come out. So it's very strong. And yeah, normally in this game, meter reversals are bad because you can shield them after you see the flash, but this move you can't do that. So again, it's super good. It's fast, you can't react to that. It blows up safe jumps, so it's like super good. But of course, it costs meter. It costs 100 meter. And of course, it's not safe on block, so or on whiff. So don't be too predictable with this. And when you are defending, in general, if the opponent is doing what I just taught you on pressure, like staggers and stuff like that, and you are the one defending, okay. Generally, if you have the read that the opponent is gonna leave a gap big enough, or they're gonna try to reset their pressure, you want to do something like 5A. 5A is your best move to, because 2A is too short. This move is not allowed, but generally in these situations you don't care. You want a move 5A as the right compromise of fast, because it's her fastest normal with 2A, but it has more range. So if the opponent is pressuring you and you want to get out, you can try to press 5A and combo from that with your combo. If the opponent is a bit farther, you may, like if the opponent is trying to do what I said before, right? Like he's trying to make you whiff and do like this, you may, it depends on the character of course, you may want to use 5B because it has more range and it also hits low, so if he's trying to walk back, he gets hit. And usually when you do something like that, you may want to cancel it into one of these moves, so you can confirm if it hits. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like there's like a ton of stuff I haven't talked about, but I think it would get like way too in depth and way too long, so I think for now this is good enough, and I hope it was useful to someone. I don't even know if anyone has survived long enough to reach the end of this stream. I hope you did. I hope it was useful. And yeah, that's it. I would ask if anyone has questions. So if anyone has questions about F-Ciel, you can ask them now. I will wait a couple minutes to see in the chat if anyone has questions. Otherwise, I will end the stream. Just questions about F-Ciel, because if I were to start now to talk about other stuff, it would be way too long. I will do other streams in the future maybe, so if you want to ask other questions, you can ask in the future. So still waiting for about a minute. I will catch up on the chat in the meantime. I see some people got something, so at least there was someone this time. So someone said that this game seems to have a lot of normals. In general, it has a decent amount, but F-Ciel has like one of the most normals in the game, because she has like 5A BC and 2A BC, but she also has 4B and 3B and 4C and 3C, and she can charge 4B, she can charge 5C, she can charge 3C, so she has a lot of normals. She has in the air, she has J2C, and she can charge it, so she has a lot of things. Like I didn't talk about all I know about her, because as I said it would be way too long, but I like her because she's very simple. Like you can play her simple pressure but she has a lot of moves that, if you know, they are tricky, they are situational, so she has a lot of depth too. So that's why I like her a lot. So I don't see any questions, so I'm gonna end the stream now. So again, I hope it was helpful, and thanks to anyone that watched, and good night.